My favorite way to start. My favorite way to start. This week's live technical difficulties.
This week's
Welcome everybody.
live
Technical difficulties.
This week's
Welcome
live
everybody. Technical difficulties. Welcome everybody. We're streaming.
No, we're
but there's no sound
streaming.
yet, I don't think.
Oh. All right, guys.
Are we live? Is the sound?
Yeah.
We do apologize for technical difficulties, but we are live once again. Welcome to Quest and Quill, Facing the Frontier. This week's episode, The Spirit of Vengeance. Where we last left off, the party faced a deeply disturbing tentacled monster that tried to swallow most of them, but was unsuccessful, luckily. And the party were able to slay it with their abilities. And with Saul's first ever critical hit, apparently, because he was whining
The
about
first one, and everyone got so mad.
it. From there, Saul and Havel proceeded to have a very intense, deep, meaningful conversation. For the ranchers celebrated with a great party and a bit of moonshine, and John gave a rousing speech, causing all of them to take their prisoners and the ranchers as witnesses towards Tenton to present the crimes of the property investment group. Now, as the party starts, they approach Tenton. At the fall of dusk, night was just starting to hit the sky. A familiar voice with a familiar face under a sable cloak stopped them, and a small, sneering goblin came forth and warned them that the town of Tenton was not safe. And where we begin, and where we left off, Krynn has just pulled down the sleeve of his cloak to reveal a branded eye with a slit through it. Something that I don't think anyone in the party is familiar with, except for our newest member, who I'll introduce in just a second. Our guest for the next 2 episodes. But Krynn looks around at all of you eagerly and says, "Now, friends, I only reveal this information to you in time of great need. Understand that my organization chooses to remain quiet and in the shadows, but there is danger afoot, and I need you all to listen to me now. The work you did, it is under heavy investigation from the government. The Bluecoats have surrounded the tunnel, and our mutual friend, Mr. Region, is effectively under siege inside, protected only by the fact that the workers are making steady progress. And in Tenton, the Ark offices have been raided. They are currently under investigation. I have fled the city, though I cannot go too far. As you understand, there are still interests at play here. But there has been a disturbing, and he looks at you all, and he sort of pulls his cloak back. And now, as you sit in this tent, there's more fire brewing. He says, "It is difficult to explain, but perhaps let me offer you a gift and a prepayment. Consider it a down payment of sorts, my friend." And he waves his hand, and in you see, carrying a ginormous latched iron chest. If you'd like to introduce your character, describe to us what he looks like marching into this tent, carrying this large.
I have arrived.
Oh my god.
You
It's
guys
me.
see before you What do they see?
They see a towering minotaur that towers over all of them, looking down upon the world, with rage and vengeance in his face, and a roar that shakes everything in his path. The ground stutters with every step he takes. He walks into the tent and smashes down the chest, stares down at all his puny, on all of these puny, tiny adventurers, and puts down his giant hammer right next to him. Okay, that didn't have the ground is soft, so it makes a plunky noise.
Would you like to introduce yourself, please?
Well, this is more stagecraft than your sort of deal, right?
Guy is huge.
Yeah, sure. What's this a down payment for? What have we agreed to anything yet? What's going on?
That is what I'm here to make sure of.
Oh, good.
Would you like the presents before or after I explain?
It might be best if you just explain, right?
Because I'm mighty confused.
I
Very
have
well.
informed you about our mutual friend, Mr. Region, being under siege in the caverns. That is indeed the guise under which they garrison the camp. But our eyes have informed us that a pair of inquisitors have arrived in Tenton and are intending on heading towards the camp to question Mr. Region.
Oh.
What sort of inquisitors?
I need not inform you of the gravity of the arrival of the Crimson Cloaks.
Hmm?
The very same. Are they familiar to you?
Saul's like taking out his rifle and is like cleaning it. Is like loading it, getting it ready.
Friend, would you open the box, please?
Me?
Yeah, he addresses Ranga. And please introduce yourself to our companions.
I am Ranga. Ranga Nathan. Paladin amongst the Minotaurs. What are your
Saul?
names?
Saul, good to meet
Tiny
you,
people.
I guess.
My name is Havel, and you're loud. Can you lower the volume a little bit?
If you guys would also please give a brief description of what your character looks like
Oh,
to
sure.
explain to our guests.
Who wants to start?
Well, Havel was the last one to say something, so Havel, please continue.
As of right now, in this part of the story, Havel has this white hat with a feather on it. He's dressed in what used to be really fine clothes, but it's really worn down. He's covered in hay. For some reason, he's refusing to dust off. And he wears a mask. One half is black, one half is white. One smile is in the happy smile, and the other one is in a frown. He carries a rapier. He's not overly strong, but he does carry himself fairly well. And he got a nice accent, just like this.
Okay. Apt description.
Lula, if you'd like to introduce yourself.
Lula is just beaming, having a beaming smile on her face, looking at this hulking feast of a man. And
You mean the hulking beast of a minotaur?
yeah, sorry, thank you, hulking beast of a minotaur. And
Fucking
she,
beast of a beast man.
yeah, and she extends her hand out for a handshake, and she says, "Howdy, my name is Lula, and you are a massive son of a bitch. Whoa!"
And you are quite tiny, human.
I'm not that tiny. I mean, I'm pretty big amongst me and my siblings. I mean, I'm the biggest there is. I'm the strongest. By the way, my name's Lula. Lula Knucklehead, call me that. And she, beckons Ranka to shake her hand.
She's been holding her hand out like the whole time. It's just like
I will let your hand go, Lula, because you are amusing.
You'll let my hand go. Are you shaking it? Yes or no?
Oh wait, I thought I was holding your hand the entire time. Sorry.
Okay.
No. My mistake.
Okay, so
Science does not come with brains. No, I grab your hand to shake it vigorously and almost tear your arm off because of how strong I am.
Oh. Well, that's a lot of strength there.
if I'm not
Lula.
mistaken, that's an 18 strength. Bulging muscles. He's a big boy.
Yeah. Lula fixes up her appearance. Her appearance being curly black hair, and on her person she wears a button-up shirt covered with trusty leather armor and trusty boots and trusty pants, with her defiant shield and weapons on her person as well, peppered off with a layer of grime and dust.
All right. Saul's in the corner, just kind of getting his guns in order. He's cleaning them, moving on to the next one, taking them apart. He's got he's a tall, willowy older man, probably in his mid-50s.
Played by Pedro Pascal.
By Pedro Pascal, apparently.
Yeah.
And
Sorry.
I guess his hair got dyed fairly recently, so it's probably still.
Yeah, your hair would be black.
Is it
You
black
dyed
now
like,
again?
You dyed it. No, you dyed it dark black, didn't you?
No, it was black before. He dyed it white.
Oh, my bad. Oh yeah,
But
you
it
were
might be
trying.
fading. It might be fading by now. I think it's mostly white with like black roots, probably. And then he's probably got like a 5 o'clock shadow rolling in, like he's starting to grow his beard back.
So he looks like an unshaved K-pop star. Understood.
That's exactly what he looks like. He looks great.
Except he's a 50-something-year-old man, all on rough roads. And
That's
what is he wearing on his person?
I think he's just wearing his signature, like dirty brown, dusty coat with you know, torn up leggings and a shirt, like a
So he looks like the
sweat-stained
mysterious
shirt.
stranger from New Vegas, right?
I guess so. Yeah, it's been a while since I never choose that perk, so I don't know what it looks like.
Anyway,
But he looks scraggly. That's the main thing.
Right.
Ranga,
Should I
please,
describe
if you'd
myself?
open, if you'd describe yourself and then open the chest for us.
All right. So Ranga is a giant hulking minotaur, heavily armored, like to the teeth, extreme chainmail, all the works. Like looks like nothing could pierce his armor, and carries two weapons on his one that he holds to his side all the time. His great hammer, which is a gigantic boulder of a hammer that he uses to crush the skulls of his enemies with, and a great battle axe on his back for when bludgeoning just doesn't do the work, and you need some slashing. And on his side he has a, because he's so comically huge, he can't wear a travel bag on his back, so he ties it to his waist, and it looks like a rucksack next to him.
Yeah, it's got like a travel sack tied as a pouch around his
Yeah.
waist.
And
If
and
you
yeah, well, he's a minotaur with giant horns, so you know those horns are going to come into play when combat begins.
if you would open the
Gouge
chest,
anything in
please,
his
my
path.
friend.
Yeah.
Comrade, the chest, if you would.
Yes. And when I bend down, I flip the lock and open the chest to reveal the contents to the party.
Within, there seems to be a cloak of black velvet, and as he draws it forth, Krynn opens it with his small, gnarled, arthritic goblin green hands, and within there seems to be a pair of battle axes. He takes them aside and he goes, "These are for your other companion. If perhaps you could keep them." And he hands them to John. I'll describe them whenever Aslan gets them. He then opens a small cloth, and within there seem to be a pair of golden and crimson gauntlets. They shine with a magical gleam. And she picks them up. He picks them up and hands them to Lula. "These are for you, my lady. I think you might find them to your specific liking."
Many, many thanks. Oh my god.
Those are the gauntlets of Flaming Fury. You can add them to your inventory.
Oh my god.
He then takes
Nice.
the black velvet that they were wrapped in and shakes it out. "And this is for you, my friend. To help you stick in the shadows. I believe you might find it to be just to your liking." And he hands it to Saul.
Okay. What is
That
this?
is a cloak of the bat.
Cloak of the what?
Cloak
of the bat?
bat. Yes.
Oh
And
no.
you can add that to your inventory. I also, to be fair, should have given Ranga a magical item, but we'll discuss that between now and the next session. There
Yeah.
might be a way to make it
Ranga's
happen.
so big and strong, he doesn't need anything.
Yeah, and he has his own magic, doesn't he? I guess we'll find out, won't we, if you continue watching this stream.
Hell yeah.
Did I get one?
Now,
No.
uh,
No.
Krynn looks at you as Hamel's asking this, and he goes, "We will uphold our end of the deal if you uphold yours, friend."
The rest comes prepared, but you're not gonna give any. Still all have them. How rude!
Doesn't Hamel have a magic item already?
I could use more.
I know.
There's nothing more of having more.
Guys, it's been too long coming, okay?
But
Now,
Sweet.
fair enough.
John says, so I assume you want us to intercept the reverends on their way to the mountain.
it would be convenient for us if they were to make it there.
They won't.
Well, I think I know what Saul's feelings are in this. But what about you two, Havel, Lula? Do you think it prudent to get our hands dirty now? Well, dirtier, I guess.
Um, you know, I'm not one. I'm not one for. I am one for violence. I do love me a bit of a fight, but murder is something that's not to be taken so lightly. But something tells me that holding on to this somewhat innocent way of looking at the world is not going to last for long. So yeah, I'm willing to go down that road if it means doing justice.
And you, Havel, you feel the same?
I turn my head and I look at the goblin and I say, "Do you care in the manner in which way they die?"
Only
I
when
have
done quietly and not linked back to my organization.
no problem. And I turned my head to Saul, and I was like, I wish I could kill every single member, present and past.
He kind of gives a half-hearted shrug and goes back to cleaning out the barrel of his rifle.
But I'm all in.
Understand that this would endear you greatly to me. I would owe you many things, as well as many favors.
Does Mr. Ouija know of your association?
He is but a part of a much bigger game.
Aren't we all?
I'm starting to think you understand. Alright. He sort of gives you a look and then starts to say something but backs off. And you crouch to the little goblin figure down. I figured you were associated with us, but perhaps I am wrong.
I believe we've crossed paths before, but it wasn't on such friendly terms. We had an encounter with Lucy, and she absconded with a deputy that we were protecting and nearly killed us in the process.
He looks at you and a small grin streaks across his face. You have met a mouth. Please describe this woman of which you speak.
Tiefling, red skin, very pretty. But yeah, she has deadly fiery powers.
A bit of a bitch as well.
He like glares at Lula.
She was pleasant enough to me, except when she was slinging spells at us the week prior.
Indeed, she is a comrade of mine. I am sorry to hear that you met in conflict. I have heard she is rather spicy.
That's one way to put it.
I hope that these gifts are a gesture of our goodwill, and perhaps promise of future workings together.
Look, I'm not really one to be a hired gun. However, it is my understanding that these men are likely deserving of such a fate. And if this will help protect our friends, help protect Saul here, I'm keen to make it happen. This once. I think you can trust us in this. We will ambush them on the way to the tunnel. You have any idea when they might be traveling?
You have my gratitude. Luckily, even though even sorry, excuse me. Luckily, even though the offices are under investigation, I still have ears where they need to be. There's a train set to leave at dawn. It's supposed to be a supply train, but this just means it's traveling light. It's also supposed to stop to collect supplies from the East Road. I believe you know this road. I believe you've traveled on it before. It is where the plan was for you to diverge before the tunnel.
I see. So we'll lay an ambush there then. Thank you for this. And maybe we meet again.
No, thank you, comrade. I hope we do. I would only advise that your business in Tenton know that everything is being watched, and they know of your previous association with Mr. Regent.
All right. Well, I had a thing I wanted to do in town, but I guess that'll have to wait.
What is this thing? Tell me your plan.
Well, we have a certain feck fumble in our custody. Seems he was part of a representative of the property investment group, and he's been hiring
eyes
out
light up.
bandits. I'm sorry.
His eyes light up at this a bit. Your previous companion, Feckfumble, he has been one of the key witnesses in the investigation, and it seems that it had put some stress on him. You have a member of his family?
That we do.
It seems that this might be deeper than even I thought. Go. Do your plan. It might put things in motion that could help us. But please do not miss this train upon the morrow. It is,
Understood.
I believe, of deadly importance to Mr. Regent. And though he is not a member of my organization, understand that I do still hold some love for this friend of mine.
I know how it is. Well, all right. We'll see you in a day or two at most. Good evening.
Best of luck to you. Yeah. Before you leave, he goes, my companion will be joining you. He has personal beef, if you will excuse the pun.
I grunted that. my bull face, my bull nose, like steam comes out. I stop my feet at that.
Seems like a bit of a loose cannon, no? Hopefully he can be discreet, like you asked.
Fear not, my friends. I am of unbound strength and of vengeance and anger, but I have learned to discipline it, to direct it where it is deserved.
Well, that's
and where
fortunate.
we're headed, those are the people that deserve it. And if you help me accomplish this, you will have earned my lifelong trust and friendship.
Well, I guess that's that.
So it's settled.
Yeah. One second, guys. Someone's knocking on my door.
Something.
We're right back.
No worries.
Well, all right there, Ranger. Welcome into the squad. Shake my hand.
Ranga takes his humongous hand and pulls off Lula's arm almost immediately because of how strong it is.
It's got to sound like
So,
I apologize.
pardon me, Nick. So
I
are
apologize. I'm human.
we supposed to get on the morning train? Is that what he suggested?
no. So he gives you a small note. Upon the small note, there's the exact time of the train. It should be departing at about 10 a.m. It should be stopping at the supply depot at about 12 At about noon, it should be stopping at the supply depot to meet the train of supplies coming up on the coast road, the eastern road that you guys took. The idea that was presented to you is that this is the train, this is where it's stopping. Either you can ambush it before or after the stop as it's slowing down or starting to get speed, one or the other, or ambush it while it's stopping, though there will be the crew of people offloading it. But getting on it is not a good idea. It's literally just a locomotive, the elemental powered engine, and two carts behind that. The first cart being a supply cart, and the second cart being a small carrier. So do with that what you will.
All right.
Before that, how would everybody like to proceed with their plan? As the ranchers you had come in with, most of them go off to meet with their families that had been in Tenton, hiding away from the chaos, and many of them go off to find whoever their people are within the camp, and try to raise, all of the women and children that had come away from the ranches to hide from the chaotic situation that was ongoing. You also still have your prisoners with you, and Al, and Jameson, who, despite being prisoners, quote unquote, are walking with you quite freely and are not leaving your side.
So,
nip this in the butt somehow.
John, you reckon we shouldn't even go into Tenton?
Well, we're about to go do a hit, basically, right? I feel like the less we show our faces at this point, the better. I don't think it'd be a good time to make a show of things, because then we'll put the Red Reverends on alert. And we kind of want to catch them unawares and not have to make a mess of things, right?
Yeah, if they're at this tunnel, probably be real easy to make it look like an accident.
No, that they wouldn't be at the tunnel, right? The tunnel is surrounded by
the
blue
tunnel.
coats.
Sorry, I got phased out there.
No, there's a waypoint to the east, which they'll take a locomotive to, and from there they'll head to the tunnel. I'm figuring we can either hit them at the station, or we catch them on their way from there to the tunnel. Hopefully we can just get them out in the open, make it look like animals did it or something. I don't know.
Yeah, we know the route they're taking, right?
Yes.
I would
Take
say
it.
we get them out in the open.
Wait, don't we?
As John said. No, I'd say we get them out in the open, as John says. Because I promise you, once I'm done with them, it will look like the wildest animal tore them to pieces.
Well, there we go. They're taking the locomotive, you said?
Yeah.
That's what
Okay,
they
so
do.
we know the track. We've traveled that track. We'll just, I'll just take a copper piece, put it on the rail,
What would that do?
and just wait. You heard that right, with the copper pieces on the rail.
Yeah. But what would that
I
do?
can-
Would a simple copper piece derail a train?
It derails the whole train. I heard it from a guy.
With no offense to your plan, Saul, I can take apart the rail so that the trains cannot go forward. My hammer can do more than just crush skull.
Well, there we go. That would be the way to do it. Just dismantle part of the rail. Maybe they don't even notice. I could probably disguise it in some way. I could probably set up some foliage or something, nothing big, just enough to think that there's nothing really wrong with the rail. Just some sand.
I don't know if that goes along with being discreet and derailing a whole locomotive.
Well, there's different kinds of discreet, right? It's
Now we're trying to disappear them.
If they die in a train crash, well, train crashes happen every day. Well, maybe not every day, but that looks a lot less conspicuous than gun wounds.
All right. I think we can if we can do this. I feel like you're probably more experienced with killing people than I am. So let's try it.
Yeah, I am, aren't I?
Yeah.
Muted, bro.
Am I muted?
No, not you, Buggerbot.
Yeah, sorry. I would debate that, friend Soul. I too have a lot of experience in that same field.
Well, keep that on the down low in this group.
Perhaps we can compare notes after we have done the deed.
You shoot one guy in this group and
Exactly
you're a
what I'm thinking.
bloodthirsty murderer, but walking cat over here tears a man in half. Nobody seems to complain about it. It's real strange.
Now, Paul, I was just joking along with, just for the laughs. God, don't worry about him.
I'm sorry.
It's
You say
fine.
this
It's fine.
this tiny human tore a human apart?
No, it's our friend Aslan who we left him behind at the ranch, didn't we?
It's not about shooting a guy, Saul, and you know that. It's about shooting someone you don't have to. There's a difference.
1 second. I need to step away for a minute. My food's here. I just need to pay the guy. 1 second.
If you say so. Okay. I haven't
No,
really
you're
noticed
fine.
anything. It's been pretty good.
Yeah, you sound pretty good, Kyle.
Oh. Yeah, I haven't
I
been
don't know.
listening to this. Anyhow.
And the role play went dead. I'm sorry. Actually,
No, it's okay.
soon as well. I'm going to say
So we've been role playing. Mostly.
good boys, good boys.
Don't worry, roleplay
For the
roleplay's
most
still
part.
going on. So, hey, Pavel,
So, so before we move on, Havel, there's something that I've been meaning to speak to you about. It's come to my attention that you've had a moment with Saul because of something that happened in the past. Look, I need to know that you're with us and you're not just waiting for a moment to shoot us in the back, or shoot even Saul in the back. Given what's happened, why are you still with us? Why should we trust you? Well, I feel like it's needless to say that he's turned a new leaf. He hates the Red Reverends and hates what he did just as much as you do. I know you lost your mom, but I'm sure he's lost people too. We've all have. And I understand your desire for vengeance. I get it. But hey, this is an opportunity to start making good on that, right? We have these two reverends, and Saul here is no longer a reverend. I think we need to get that straight. And, we should band together in this. We all want the same thing, ultimately. But you just need to let Saul go. You need to forgive him so he can forgive himself.
To the ranch all those years ago. And I'm not even gonna try and say anything to make him or you feel better. But the soul from then is not the same soul from now. The soul I know, he's a good man. And what he's done in the past, that wasn't Saul's doing. He's probably younger, probably stupider. But your enemy is not Saul himself. It's more what Saul used to stand for, what he was controlled by. So I understand your rage, your anger towards Saul. And I will not blame you if you feel it justified to exact revenge. I wouldn't blame you. But I am going to stop you if you do. But I don't think that's going to happen because I think you know deep down inside that the soul from then is dead. It's not the same. This soul here is old and wrinkly and cold-hearted as he is. He has a soul, a good soul, damaged, but different.
Well, that's very kind of both of y'all. I feel I should clear something up. It's yeah, well, I don't need your forgiveness. I don't deserve your forgiveness. And if when we're done here you still want to put a bullet between my eyes, then that'd be just fine. But I reckon for now our interests are aligned. I don't remember your mother. I'm sorry that it happened. I believe that it probably did.
Pavel breathes very heavily. And he leans over and he spits on the ground. You go, John, Lila, the day I met you in that tavern, I was serious. I want to do good in the world. And I do want to tell stories about the good, the bad, and the evils. I can't say everything's going to be hunky-dory after this meeting. I still harbor great hatred for you, Saul. I'm not going to mince words. But one thing is right. I do want to help these folks. Because I know the feeling when people doesn't help you in your time of need. I've been there. I don't wish that on anybody else, especially people that can't defend themselves. I've been there. I was an 8-year-old boy who lost his mother, his home, and nobody helped me. It's a horrible feeling. So, John, Lula, and you, Sal, you have my word that until the Red Reverends are killed and eliminated, and the PIG will stop using these strong arm tactics. You have my word. I'll be on your side. We'll do good in the world. I swear to you. Picks up his mask, puts it back on, puts his hat on, gets up, dusts himself off, and says, I'm ready when you are. And he walks out. He steps out.
Before Hubble gets to step out, Lula quickly descends upon him and wraps him in a hug, in a comforting hug.
And I hug her back and says, thank you, Lula. It's nice to know that people care. Tips his hat and walks out.
Oh, good.
Well, I reckon that went about as well as it could have. Saul straightens himself up, flings his rifle, walks out with a nod towards John.
All right then. I guess that settles it for now, at least. We should make preparations. See what we should do with the others. I think we should just have the men grab the women and the children and bring them back to the ranch. But I'm not sure what we should do about our prisoners. Do we just let them go at this point, or?
Well, can't we just leave him with our goblin friend here? He's pretty well connected. I'm sure he owns like a cage or something. Probably some rope at least.
Fair point. Yeah, I guess we can do that. He'll probably have a good idea of what to do with someone like them. Anyways, let's go fetch him and set this all into motion. That way we can go to where we need to be before the enemy does.
Sure.
All right. And so we do that. Basically, we go and we tell the two men that came from the ranch with us, we tell them to go and gather the women and the children and possibly bring them back home tonight if they can, or tomorrow morning. And that we have some other business that we need to attend to. And then we would take Feck, Fumble, and Biter, and we would turn them over to Krynn and his cronies.
I was about to say, you should have done that.
Yeah, you can. Krynn will keep them under lock and key until such a time that you want them again.
Sweet.
He seems to be very happy to have a member of the Feck Fumble family under his power. Though with the deal that you have just struck and the fact that you're doing such a favor for him, he's definitely not going to do anything to defy your trust. You know.
Okay.
He's very much grateful for you guys accepting his task.
Mm-hmm. He's very in our favor.
Exactly.
Nice.
The ranchers also, they agree to make sure that the women and children are secured. And they sort of ask you, you know, like, so your plan is to change somewhat. Someone needs to mute themselves. I think it's you, Deb. Or maybe you, Sol.
I don't know if it would be me.
No.
I'm already muted.
It's already adjusted. It was on before.
I think
Someone is giving me a lot of feedback, but anyway, I think it's fine now.
Am I the only one hearing him?
I think you need to mute your tab again. We're getting feedback from your end, Olutandos, one of you two.
I'll mute myself to check.
Is that it? Does that make it better?
Yeah.
Is your tab muted?
Yeah.
I think your tab might not mute. Make sure you muted your tab. I think that was the issue. We're getting feedback from your end, Deb.
Yeah, your Google Meets tab.
Yeah, Ranga, unmute
You're
yourself.
muted again. Yeah, unmute yourself, but mute your Google. All right. With that, let's go to a short break, and we'll get back just as soon as the technical difficulties are sorted out. Thank you,
All right.
everybody. We'll see you in just a second. And we're live again, returning back to Quest and Quill. Welcome to Facing the Frontier. Now, we've enjoyed this part of the episode. All right, the ranchers will re-meet with their families, but they're a little bit concerned that you're not sticking to the plan. They do want some sort of explanation from John after his very rousing speech.
At that point, I grunt.
He says, look, I'm sorry, but there's been a development. I'll explain it all later once we meet back at the ranch. There's more at hand here than even just the things that are happening at the ranch. It'll make sense. I swear.
They all seem to somewhat, nod their heads in understanding. And you sure you want us to leave? You don't want us to stick around for a while?
Look, it's up to you. If you think it's if you don't feel safe here for whatever reason, or you get tired of waiting on us, that's fine. But tell you what, at least stay one day here, and we'll be back by the next morning. And if we aren't, then head back to the ranch. How about that?
All right, well, I think we maybe go and make a report of Mr. Hare's attempted murder. I feel like that might be somewhat important. At least have a record of it for the Bluecoats.
True enough. Feel free to do that.
All right, then. Miss Lula, you look after yourself, all right? We'll see you when you're done with your business. And the ranchers go off and find their way in the camp. How would you guys like to proceed? Please tell me what the plan is.
Well, we're gonna travel to the railway that leads to the tunnel, and then I believe the plan was
Dismantle the railway at some point, right?
was for Renga to remove some of the rail,
With my mighty hammer.
and then I was going to camouflage it so it's not clear that the rail is out, and then the Red Reverends crash the train, and then that kills them instantly.
You guys have
And
traveled
then,
along the rail. Do you have a specific spot along the rail that you'd like to do this to?
That's a good
Somewhere
question.
remote.
I think remote, and I think Saul, because he knows kind of like how the Red Reverends think. Like they're probably going to be specifically on edge and looking out for places that would make good ambushes.
Mm-hmm.
So I think he's going to like actively choose a place that's like not like maybe just like secluded, but like out in the open. You know what I mean?
What about the boneyard where all the scorpions are? The giant scorpions? They can take care of the bodies for us?
Yeah, that's a great idea. Because it is like nothing but flat plains, so they wouldn't be quite as much on the lookout. They'd be looking for like cliff sides and things like that.
You guys know that point is just beyond where the East Road finally arrives alongside the Coast Road finally arrives alongside the tracks. So you know that would be slightly after the point that Krynn has suggested to you.
Yeah, that's fine.
Close enough.
And if Rangar wants to go on town with the tracks, I could cover up with a minor illusion to make it look like it's normal.
Mm-hmm.
So guaranteed to derail, not just like a little hop.
Fair enough. No chance for failure then. Well, all right then.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Figure we should start heading that way now.
Yes.
Rango, you got a shovel around here?
Would my great axe count as a shovel?
Well, I mean, probably we could probably make that work, but I'd prefer a real shovel.
Perhaps we can.
Let me check my rucksack.
If not,
you do not have a shovel in your rucksack.
Yeah, I figure I figure they probably have one in storage somewhere near here.
To be fair, if you guys are planning on setting out in the night, Krynn the Goblin seems to have almost complete run of the Beast Folk camp on the east side of on the west side of the tracks. And if you guys need axe beaks, or if you guys need shovels or tools,
Axe beaks. Fuck
Yeah, I
yeah,
would
we
definitely
want
grab a
axe
shovel.
beaks.
grab a shovel and grab some blankets.
some roadrunners and some skinkers.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because
Well, no, we have
got
speakers anyway.
we got to go a long ways. Wait, do we? Do we
Yeah,
all
John-
come on skinkers?
John
Yeah, we
has his
did.
horse, and at least a couple of you have skinkers, that's for sure.
But
Yeah.
belongs to
Well, we
the
need-
ranch.
Yeah, I guess we could also just piggyback. Actually, maybe Ranga needs his own skinker or his own ride because he's so big.
Ranga
Well,
Ranga couldn't ride a roadrunner. He definitely couldn't fit on an axe beak, that's for sure.
Yeah. Maybe he could ride one of the skinkers.
Yeah, he could ride one of the
So
skinkers.
can't minotaurs like
Or a
run
horse.
and keep up with steeds? Aren't
I
minotaurs
mean,
like beasts?
what's your speed? Because I'm pretty sure you just have 30 feet like everyone else, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I'm afraid.
That
I'm
seems
afraid.
kind of
even-
unfair, given that I'm a giant bull.
Well, it could be
Okay,
your
bro,
my
maybe if you
bones
were
are
a
very
centaur-
dense.
baby.
If you were a
5e.
centaur, I would give it to you. But have you ever seen a cow run? Because I promise you, it's not fast. It's like.
I've seen a bull run. I have seen a bull charge, and that's significantly faster.
Yeah, no, I've watched those silly Spanish people trying to run away from a big angry cow. It's whatever. Definitely not an intelligent sport to play. Anyway,
Hmm.
you can get yourself a horse, which will be big
we
enough
just-
to carry you.
We just
It's a bit of
lost all our
a squat,
bullfighting
short
audience.
Shire pony.
Yeah, and we would also ask Krynn for a shovel as well.
You can get a
Besides
shovel.
the
I
extra
still
mount.
say, friend, my great axe is the biggest shovel you'll ever find.
I just want to get some precision work done. That's all. Just some precise something, also for my personal use, Guy like me needs a shovel for lots of things.
Oh boy.
Let me know if you need me
What
to
are
hold
you
on.
shoveling for?
What'd you say, John?
Oh, well, I was gonna say
No,
if you need me to put the shovel in my coat, just let me know.
Yeah, sure, here.
Thank you.
No, I need it for all sorts of things. You dig a fire pit, you can dig a ditch, you can dig a well.
John just opens up his coat and like.
Yeah,
you can
yeah.
describe
John
it,
opens
please,
his coat and he sticks the whole shovel in there, and then he lets go of his coat, and it just seems to disappear under his clothes.
Yeah,
Dig,
stop texting bitches. Get your head in the game.
You could dig
I have a
you could dig
container
a
coming.
stream, you could dig
A
you
great.
could dig a hole, you could just dig a shelter. You could dig a grave. That's mostly what I'll be using it for. But
It is what I use my axe for, to dig graves.
Well, fair enough. This one
And
came
to
free
fill
though,
them.
so it's fine. But if we're all saddled up, I think we should head out. Best to get there early than late.
sure. We should
got
find a
some-
place to hide the steeds, though.
True.
'Cause if there's just, slinkers and axe beaks standing out in the middle of the desert, they're gonna
That's why we need to get there early.
scratch their heads at that. Yeah. Well, let's go.
Yes, so we would go and try and make our way to the boneyard and try and find a place where we could stow the rides safely without them getting eaten by giant scorpions.
So what you guys notice, especially riding skinkers, which are a tad slower than horses, is that the distance you're able to cover on the rails while actually traveling on the train is enormous. It's fantastical. It's actually a marvel of science and magitech engineering, how quickly and how efficiently the train travels. Because by the time you guys find yourself amongst the boneyard and similar spots, the wide open sand dunes of this area that the train travels through, where where the frontier, bless you, where the frontier meets the coastal steppe. It takes you a good couple hours to get there, and it's the early hours of dawn trickle upon the horizon as you guys arrive. You're left with just a few hours to get yourself set up, to get your steeds put away, to find a possible place for your potential ambush. How would you guys like to proceed? What's the plan? What's the setup?
So what Saul's going to do is, because it's kind of a mostly open plain out that way, is he's going to dig like 6-foot long holes that are just like a few, like maybe 1 or 2 feet deep,
Mm-hmm.
and then he'll test it with Lula first. Have Lula lay down in one, and then like throw a blanket over her, and just kind of like trickle dirt on top, and just make it look like, just make it look like the rest of the ground, and just set up like these ambush points for everybody.
Okay, I love it. Do you want to roll a stealth check? And I think with Lula helping you and the party and the time that you're able to take, you would be able to roll with advantage. However, unfortunately, it's still dark at night, so you would have to roll with disadvantage because you're blind, because you're a human without night vision, so you can just give me a straight roll.
Wait.
But
No.
But-
We have torches
Or I
out.
could just turn on my lantern.
yeah, John would
Oh,
stick
we
his
have torches
hands
out.
in his coat and he would pull out the magic lantern and he would give it back to Saul. He says, "Here, this might be useful."
I got a 25.
Okay, then. You are able to roll to dig Viet Cong style ambush pits in the ground that look flushed with the dunes and completely perfect. Now the only problem is, how are you going to see out of them to know if the train is coming?
Oh, he sets his up just right, where he can it's like he sets up like a little rock that holds up an edge of the edge of like the blanket, and he's got like little eyes peeking out.
Okay.
Or he could use John as a call out.
As they're all setting up, John would say, "Hey guys, we should try not to hit the train with any bullet holes or the likes. Remember, this is supposed to look like the."
That's why Ranga took apart the. That's why Ranga took apart the rail.
The rail.
Right, of course. I'm just saying, we
Please
might still
describe
have
to me
fight
how
them.
you're.
Go
No
ahead.
train is
Please describe
passing
to
up
me.
what I did to those rails.
Please describe to me what you did to the rails.
I took my mighty hammer with both my hands, raised them up, and started smashing every inch of one block of the rails. It goes, and it breaks apart immediately. And I move to the next section,
Immediately.
pick it up. What? I can't hear you, Havel.
5 feet. If you give me 5 feet, I could cover it up. If you do it too much, they'll see it and they might be alerted. So if you do 5,
As you're just wrecking the train.
As I go to smash the next section of it, it suddenly dawns on me that while I enjoy violence and using my hammer, it dawns on me that if I break apart too much, it cannot be hidden. So I stop at the last very second and pull myself up. I was like, and look at my party. Like, sorry, that's almost got away from me.
thank you, big man.
While
I
we're
appreciate it.
while we're watching Ranga just dismantle this small section of the rail, Saul will glance over to John and be like, "Isn't this is Mr. Weejan's railway, isn't it?"
Kinda. It's Ark's, and he does work for Ark. I don't think
Well,
Mr. Weejan
it's
owns
all-
Ark.
Well, it's all probably insured anyway.
Yeah. But remember, we're doing this to keep him from being interrogated by the Redcoats. So this is to his benefit regardless.
Yeah, it's true.
But I think we,
Yeah, I think it'll be.
we can't get
I
too
think it'll be
carried away
okay.
with damaging the railway, because remember, if it looks like someone sabotaged it, then they'll look into it. But if it looks like it's just got warped because of all the scorpions, then that's better for us.
And DM, once I hear the train coming, within
It's
a
a while.
certain
It's a while still. It's a while still.
I know. I just want to give you the trigger. So once I hear the train coming and it's within like X amount of feet, I'm going to cast minor illusion, so it looks like nothing's wrong with the railing.
Understood.
Yeah.
So are we worried about scorpions showing up while we're doing this?
Could be a possibility.
So, as you hear the clank, 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 and the smash, smash, smash of the hammer going bash, 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 you notice some skittering around.
All right. Well, we know how to deal with this. He stands up on a rock, starts throwing bones out.
What you seem to
Kinda-
notice is that as you stand up upon the rock, I'm not even going to make you roll for it. You got a ridiculous passive perception, and you got the lanterns shaking out every time you hear the sand skittering along. And you look out and shine your lantern into the skittering sand. What you notice is the skittering seems to be going away from this loud crash and bang.
Oh, that's interesting. We could have just been banging shit last time we came through here. And that would have been fine, I guess.
Yeah, I turn to the party and say, I have that effect on most creatures.
Yeah, I was thinking I would take like some of the meat that I've gotten and just bury it out there, and maybe that would keep them away for a bit.
Well, it looks like
maybe
once
it's not
the
even
train
necessary.
crashes, they'll probably retreat from the area. I think that'll probably startle them, so we won't have to worry about them during the ambush. Which is a shame, honestly. I was hoping that if they happen to survive the crash, the scorpions could finish them off for us. We didn't even have to do anything.
That would be ideal. But I mean, maybe they'll just die as soon as the train crashes anyway, and then eventually the scorpions will come along. Yeah, no, I didn't want to say anything, but yeah, I'm probably gonna have to end up shooting somebody at least once.
Yeah, but like I said, just make sure we don't put any bullet holes in the train because the scorpions won't eat those.
Yeah, I'll do
Can
my
everybody
best.
please give me their placement around the track before you guys proceed?
Sure. Do we got a Owlbear Rodeo?
Indeed, let me put a map for you up now. So you
Where
don't need to
sweet.
share it, don't worry about it. The Owlbear Rodeo is up, and there is a desert tracks thing.
Sorry, guys. Where do I see that?
It should be in the
general.
general chat on the Discord.
Okay.
But give me
General,
1 second.
Right.
Yeah.
He hasn't posted yet, but it'll be there.
Have I not posted it? I'm pretty sure it should be in the general and should be
All
in the
I see
general
is
and
me
the
waving
WhatsApp.
to everyone.
Yeah, same here.
Okay, general in the WhatsApp. Sorry, there's the links channel. I totally forgot that we created a new one.
Oh,
But anyway, I put it in the general now. Don't worry about it. It's there.
got it.
Do you know what I don't have is the right character token, and I so apologize for that. Give me just one moment. So you guys can be standing wherever you'd like to be around the tracks. Give me just 1 second. I'll put everyone's character tokens down, including Ranga's. There's Ranga. And there is the rest of the party. Sorry, Havel, you're always in an awkward place because you're like in the middle now. You're not the new guy anymore, huh?
I know.
Fancy that. Fancy that.
How about that? Oh. Oh.
You guys find yourself around tracks, patches of sand filled with bone that you recognize from before.
How big are the stumps? Are they like a 1 foot stump or a 2 foot stump or?
So you see how the scale is 5 foot by 5 foot to each of the squares? Those are big ass stumps. That's the technical term for what we're looking at.
Okay, so 5 by 5, and how tall?
Yeah.
2 feet? 3 feet?
A couple feet off the ground.
Okay.
Big enough to hide behind and get half cover, that's for sure.
All right, then I'm going to be on the other side just in case.
Okay, then.
Oh, brother.
Oh, brother.
Huh?
The part that the train tracks are damaged, I'm just going to decide, because I'm honestly not going to give that to you guys. It's going to be over here. That's the area that can be covered up.
Are you guys hiding from when the train crashes?
Yes.
Yeah, I've dug holes wherever you guys happen to choose to hide.
Because I don't know if you guys have realized my stealth is like -1. There is no hiding a 10-foot giant minotaur.
And on top of his stealth being a -1, he's also wearing chainmail armor, which gives him disadvantage on any stealth rolls.
Well, no, the whole idea was like giving them my stealth check, right? As long as they're in the holes that I've dug for them.
Yeah, I got a solution for us. So
I totally approve of that.
Yeah, we can do that. But then also, as the train is approaching, John is going to cast invisibility on Lula, Saul, and Ranga.
Okay. So then do we need to stand at the same place then? I need to stand with them?
No, it doesn't matter. I just want to see where the spread is right now. As John, please give me a dexterity saving throw.
I think I want to be standing here.
John needs to give a dex save?
Please.
Okay.
Ranga, you're invisible,
that's
which means
6.
you can roll with advantage on your stealth, which means it's a straight roll. 6. The sand shifts around your feet. Your foot stumbles for a second, trying to grasp onto where it's suddenly slipping below you, and you fall prone. No, don't move your character now. It's too late. You were in the middle of the sand patch.
Wait, I was looking at he wouldn't just stand out in the open. I was looking at my spells. Sorry.
Okay, well, I guess when you're walking across the sand patch.
All right, that's fine.
If that's okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
If that's okay with you. When you're walking back towards Ranga.
Yeah, he went to go get in position and he ran this way.
Yeah, and the sand shifts below your feet, and unfortunately, you're not able to catch yourself as you fall prone in the sand.
Fuck.
It's skittering around you. The dunes form wakes as things start to move. You have an action before things go down. What are you going to try and do?
I'm going to stand up and dash.
Okay. Stand up. As you try and dash, I'm going to ask you to please make me an acrobatics check.
God.
Ooh.
To complete the action.
That's a 9.
That does not complete the action. As you stand up, you're able to regain your footing and try and stand. And as you leap to dash off and take your dash, something strikes at your feet, and your foot is grasped for a second at first, and then after a second, it seems that something pinches around you. You take.
I use
4
Is
bludgeoning
it an
damage.
attack roll?
It's an attack roll, yes.
Okay. I want to use Entropic Ward on it, if possible, to give it disadvantage.
Disadvantage. Let me roll again then. That's a fail. Please describe what you do as a claw springs forth on the sand to grasp at you.
John just instinctively, he gasps and shouts, and he puts a hand out towards it, and there's a flash of green light from behind his glasses, and all of a sudden the claw seems to strike an invisible wall, and there's like a little green ripple in the air that emanates out.
As the claw just is deflected off to the side against it and misses you.
Yeah, and then he scrambles to try and run away from it. Or crawl away,
You guys notice John scrambling and crawling.
Actually, I move at what, half movement if I'm crawling? Is that it? I forget if I'm prone.
Yes, and you got up, so you already used half of your movement.
Oh, sweet. Okay.
Well, Lula was just thinking of taking out her herbalism kit and trying to make some potions when she hears this commotion go out, and she gets up and dashes towards John. So she's gonna get around here.
I would say, since we forgot to roll initiative, I think the best way to do this is we just do it in order of who's closest to John. Is that fair?
Sure.
All right.
Sure. So
Okay.
So that'd be
Ragnar should be
Ranga.
next.
Yeah.
Ranga, yeah. Trying to see. So wait, what's wrong with you? You're damaged and you're prone.
No, I'm just trying
So
to
what
run
you
out of the
saw-
sand, and there's a sand
What you
scorpion there.
saw is some like explosion of sand next to John's foot. John fell to the ground, then tried to spring up as quickly as possible and dash, and then some magical energy go off behind him.
Ah, okay.
Is that a fair description? That's a pretty fair description, right?
Yeah, that sounds accurate.
Okay. So then, being the big hairy beast that I am, I run to his aid. So I can do 30 feet. I run to his aid immediately because I see him on the ground. I run to his aid to lift him up and help him immediately.
Alright, sweet.
It's a free object interaction at this point because he's so much smaller than you. You can just grab him with one hand and lift him to
Yeah,
his feet.
because Oh yeah, right. So I see him, I grab him, and I pick him up to take him away from the danger because I have an idea of where the explosion happened. I want to take him away, so I basically run to him, pick him up because he's so much tinier than me, and then run away. Basically, take him and run away here. I guess. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. You can only move half of your thing while you're carrying him. I'm just saying.
Oh, okay. But
I think he
okay,
has
I mean, I
enough movement,
literally
right?
just moved one block. That should be
Yeah,
fine. right?
I'm sure it is. Sorry,
Yeah.
I'm not actually looking at the screen right now.
Yeah,
Okay.
because I basically just moved him one block. I think that should be fine.
Alright. And then before the train arrives, it's coming from the north, right? So I'm gonna go to this side of the stump and then crouch behind it and hide.
Okay, well,
Okay.
man's just dug you from the sand, so stuff is still going down. The sand is still erupting. Does anybody want to do anything
that's
else?
what I thought. Because once I bring him away from the danger, I ask him, what was that? What happened? Are you all right?
I'm fine. It's
And why is
scorpions.
the sand moving?
We need to stay out of the loose sand there. That's where they're squirming around and swimming. One almost got me. Just,
Okay.
but don't engage them, though. Stay invisible. I can only do that so many times.
Well, fair enough. When we're done here, I have a thunderous smite that will scare away everything in a 300 feet vicinity. But all right.
Let's get in position.
This isn't good.
Can you
Have
stand?
you cast invisibility already?
Well, he would cast it as soon as he sees the train in the horizon.
Okay, good to know. Good
we
to
haven't
know,
got
good
to that
know.
point
Because
yet.
dawn breaks. Yeah, no, dawn
Oh, okay,
breaks
never mind then.
across the sky. The plains and the desert of where the tracks are illuminated. The hours slowly tick by. The sun rises and starts to get warm in the sky as it beats down upon you. You look across the track, trying to just figure out to keep an eye when the train might be approaching. You notice the waves of heat ripple and emanate off of the sand. True summer is approaching. The seasons have changed and spring is now behind you. Summer's day is now upon you. And it is hot, sticky, scorching. The middle of the day arrives. The sun is beating directly overhead, unless anybody wants to do anything else. You guys are sitting, sweating.
I think John would move to this tree. He would want to get in the shade. Get to this big tree, but he would stay out of the loose sand. He would stay out of here and go around instead.
Good call.
Yeah, good to know. You guys sit and wait, and sit and wait, and wait and sit. And on the distance, you hear a small. And you see a slim pillar of smoke rising into the sky from the elemental engine. And you guys start to hear the brack, almost like a drum beat in the distance. As approaching closer and closer to you, there seems to be the front end of a locomotive. You hear the as it grows more intense and closer to you. On the horizon, you see it approaching now, 500 meters off. What is everybody going to do?
As soon as he hears the train, John would run out and he would go and tag everybody that he means to target with the invisibility spell, being Saul, Lula, and Ranga.
Lulu would meet John halfway to make it easier for him, and he'd run back to her spot.
Okay.
Me too. Ranga does the same.
And I'm going to cast. I'm going to watch and look for how close the train is, because the minor illusion only lasts for a minute. So I'll cast.
500 yards out, 500 meters out.
And when I think it's at the max distance, then I cast minor illusion on the damaged part of the railway, and duck, and go belly.
It gets more intense. Closer and closer it's approaching.
John goes back to the tree in the shade. He doesn't want to be near the crash, actually.
25 meters off.
Ranga doesn't move because he wants to be as close as possible to take
15
to
meters
crush
off.
any skulls.
Which way is the train coming? Is it coming from the north or from the south?
From the north down.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
10, 9, 8, 7. Suddenly the train is upon you. You guys hear the rushing of wind. The huge uptroaring, roaring clash and breaking of steel. You guys hear as steel is ripped from track, and as huge force crashes down upon wood, steel, sand, and dirt as crushing impact lands upon it. The train, red and right before you, flips almost completely onto its side, ripping all of the tracks behind it, smashing upon the rails, sliding on its side. You guys hear the squeal of metal upon metal as it screeches upon the tracks, pushing itself with all the momentum it had going forward. The train flips, pulls itself, slashing the tracks behind it up and down, up and down. There's huge chaos and absolute commotion as the locomotive and all of the motion stops. The train smashing down, not far in front of where you guys had derailed it. But the momentum still drives it forward as the last cart of the train is pulled, held just for the last second upon the crackling buckle that connected it to the carriage before it falls. Landing in the dirt and the dust. For about 10 seconds there is silence. Absolutely nothing happened. And you guys see the sand shifting.
Hmm.
The moment stops. Feels like hours in your heads. What's everyone doing?
I've got my rifle trained on the. I've got my rifle kind of poking out the front of my hidey hole, trained on the train, just waiting to see if anybody makes any movement.
The last carriage you can see I have now marked off is the grey block at the south end of the thing.
Jesus, that's far.
Seems to be
I'm
laying
still
there.
invisible, right?
Yeah.
Still invisible.
John just stays
So
in
I can
position.
get closer. Because
Windows.
my character, I would move closer to see if anything is moving because I'm also getting impatient.
Yeah. I just remembered that I am invisible, so I think I might move up too. Actually.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, yeah, Lilith's invisible too. Give me 30 seconds and I'll be right back. Please explain to me the thoughts that are rushing through your character's mind after just watching this absolute travesty of a train wreck that you have just witnessed.
That was pretty cool. We should destroy more trains. As I was going through Sullivan.
I feel bad for the conductor. I'm trying to think of is everyone except the Reverends okay? Hopefully we didn't just kill other innocent people.
You know what? I think the Reverends were like what, 10% or 15% of the passenger in that train.
Oh, I have no idea.
Yes.
It wasn't really a train, right? It was just a locomotive, I think, and maybe one cart behind it.
We need our DM to tell us.
Yeah.
Oh, that's true too.
I think that's what he was saying. That it was mainly just a locomotive.
If it's just the Red Reverend, then we feel one way, and if there's innocent people involved, then we feel another way.
Ronga feels nothing because he's seen
maybe
worse.
We can save them. Maybe we can stabilize them so that they wake up in an hour.
Maybe.
Sensing the sympathy in his party mates, Ronga. Wait, I can't really shout out, can I? Well, I can at this point. The train has crashed. I shout out, "Steady, my friend. We are here to complete a task."
Oh boy.
Just to remind everyone what we're here to do.
I did not expect the crash to be that violent.
Tiny human, you have not seen violence yet.
I've seen some, not all.
DM, quick question: was this just a cargo freight, or was it a passenger freight?
Like, are there innocents on that train?
One locomotive, one cargo carriage, and one passenger train.
Okay, so we've just right.
Everything's
fine. How does everyone feel about that?
You know what, DM? I am going to remove my mask, take off my hat, stow it away. I'm gonna change myself with bruises. I'm gonna have like maybe smears of blood on my face, a little bit of a burn mark, and I'm gonna go to the passenger chain. First, I'm gonna go into the other side so that everybody else could see me as I approach the passenger. And I'm just gonna show my mask to show everybody that it's me and not a passenger. And I'm just gonna be like limping along and gonna yell out, "Is anybody alive?" And I'm like banging on the thing.
Now you don't take one more step, you cocksucking bandit motherfucker. We ain't falling for nothing, and y'all better get on the ground before we put some lead in y'all.
Oh, whoa! I was in, I was riding the train. Look at me. Do I look like I'm in any shape to be a bandit?
Saul is going to use this distraction.
All right, we don't quite understand who the fuck you are, what the fuck you're doing. But we are armed to the teeth, and if you get any closer, we will blow you to fucking shite.
Oh, police, at least give me water. I just want some water. And I start collapsing.
Never mind. There is no reaction to your collapse. Saul, you want to get closer? You want to keep moving up with your invisibility?
With him,
me too. I want to be creeping up.
Creeping.
Yeah,
okay,
me too.
You guys can creep up with your invisibility. Lula, I assume you're going to try and do the same?
Yes.
You guys are able to creep up using your invisibility that's just been granted upon you. Since things have slightly changed, no one noticed you with the 25 stealth you rolled before. I'm going to ask you each to roll your stealth with advantage, except for, of course, our new friend Ranga, as you have disadvantage. So it's just a straight roll for you. But please
Okay.
give me a new stealth check as you try to make your
20
approach forward.
23 for Saul.
23? That sounds about right.
19.
10, 11 minus 1, 10 for Ranga.
Hold on. I think I could fix that.
Yeah.
Yep, you're barely within range. This is the first time I'm ever doing this, but I'm gonna actually silvery barbs. Hey, party
Are
member.
you going to silvery bobs your ally?
I can if I want to.
What are you gonna do to me?
So silvery bobs is a ridiculously overpowered spell that I'm thinking about nerfing, but we're not going to do it until we nerf the guns.
But question
beast.
for you though: aren't you pretending to be collapsed right now? Gonna like stand up, cast
Yeah,
a
it's
spell,
true.
or is there no components to it?
I
What are the
can.
components?
Oh, you know what?
Yeah, because that's kind of important. It's a well-raised point. Thank you, John.
Okay, you know what? I can't. I have to see the target, and I don't see the target, so it doesn't.
Yeah,
happen.
he's invisible actually, so you can't even see him to cast your spell. That means that as you guys all slowly approach, making your dents in the sand, from the train, out of one of the broken, shattered windows, you see a revolver peek forth and shoot into the sand in front of where Ranga is and said, "Now y'all take one step closer. Understand that you've just shaken up the hornet's nest."
Saul's gonna reach
Right,
out.
we ain't
and
looking
kinda,
to fuck around.
Saul's gonna reach out and kind of touch Ranga to kind of like motion to like keep him still, and then he's gonna keep creeping forward.
Ranga
You
is
guys
very unperturbed by the tiny bullets, given his giant stature and armor.
You guys are able to get closer using your invisibility. What you notice is two individuals, seemingly a dwarf and a half-elf, crouched down. There seems to be a third individual wearing a rather nice suit. And then a fourth, at this point, looks like a body of a gnomish figure collapsed in the corner. The other two are unmoving, but the gnomish and the half and the elven figure are crouched, taking cover with weapons pointed outwards. One seems to be armed with a shotgun, the other with a revolver.
They in red?
Crimson.
Are they? What?
Crimson.
Crimson. Okay. Yeah, I would like to creep up behind them. Are they like in the train, or is it?
They are in the train taking cover. One of them seems to be attended to one of the unconscious figures.
Yeah, I'm gonna
No,
try
it's one.
to. Are there any openings in the train, or anything exposed where
The
I can
broken windows at the top. The train carriage is now on its side. These figures are crawling around at the bottom of the of the train carriage through the broken glass, trying to help. One is trying to help this gnomish figure from the broken seats. The other one seems to be taking a crouch position with his shotgun aimed and feverishly dancing between the shattered windows above their head, waiting for any sudden movement.
Right. Yeah, I'll try to sneak up to the top of there and get a vantage point through the windows down at our guys and get in position.
You can somewhat get in position.
Okay.
As you're trying to do this, they yell back at you. "What do your train robbing bandit motherfuckers want?"
I just want some water. That's it. Please. I need medical assistance. And I kind of creep a little bit more. Please,
You're not
just
falling for this crap.
water.
I'm not falling for it. You hear the dwarven figure
Falling for
grumble
what?
as he helps the gnomish figure.
I kind of creep forward, but obviously with my hands up, I'm like really shuffling. I'm selling that I'm really hurt.
Okay. Please give me a performance check.
Rod.
What are the rest of you doing?
Lula,
Saul is now on top of the train. I can let you take that position. Lula and Ranga.
Ranga
30.
understands the game that Havel is playing, and so I tried, and knowing that he knows how big he is, so instead he'll take advantage of the invisibility and try to move to the other side so that when things go down, he can come in from the back. Because
Okay.
I have the what is it, rush or raging, goring rush that I can use from the back, right? So that's what
Okay.
I'm trying to do. To position myself behind everyone.
All right, understood. Lula?
Yep.
Lula is going to follow Saul as well, and she's going to try to position herself so that she is in a favorable position to both Saul and Ranga, so that all points are covered, all spots are covered to as much of a degree.
Okay. The seconds tick by. Can everyone give me an initiative roll quickly?
Sure thing.
'Cause I wasn't
got a 9.
expecting it to happen so fast.
Is
I
John
do have
able
mine
to
as well.
see into the locomotive through a window from where he's at?
I got a 7.
Not the
From the
locomotive, but the train
tree?
cart.
You can't see directly in, no.
But
Lula, what you get?
okay.
I got a 12. I rolled earlier
Yeah,
on.
15.
Wait, Saul, I thought you got a 7.
No, wrong guy.
That was-
Got a 7.
Okay.
Havel, what did you get? 9?
9.
And John, you were the last one.
1 moment. John got a 17.
2?
7.
Oh, me too.
So, John and Ranga, who do you think has a higher dexterity?
John does.
John.
Yeah, because my dexterity is 8.
Ooh,
John has
Ooh.
14.
Saul,
I'm big and
You-
strong, guys. That's my thing. Okay. And I have
You're
a huge
able to-
armor class.
you're able to step over the edge of the train.
Mhm.
And you're first up in initiative. What are you going to do?
Be looking out. Gonna see that everyone that I can't see seems to be in position. I can see and hear that they're not really buying Havel's stuff, so I'm going to take aim with my rifle, and I'm gonna shoot at the half elf.
Okay, please give me an attack roll.
And would I be considered in cover for this or no?
I would say you even have advantage on the roll considering you're invisible. Can't see you.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds fair. Okay. I should have rolled this beforehand. I'm sorry. Dang.
That's
got it.
okay. Let's just fill the dead air, everybody, as the shotgun roars out. Soul magically appears. You got?
I'm guessing an 11 doesn't hit. 'Cause I
No,
rolled
it doesn't.
Okay. The 21 hit?
That does, yeah.
Okay, so that's 8 points of damage plus. So that's 10 points of damage.
Not a bad hit, not a bad hit.
And then he's going to dive down and take cover.
Okay. That's your turn, because then it's me next.
Yep.
From the half-elven and the dwarven figure. The half-elven figure peeks his head above with his revolver ringing out. And he takes an attack at the only thing he can see, which happens to be John. A bullet whips above your head. He then takes an attack at Havel on the tracks, which 16 hits, right?
No, actually.
Your AC
think so.
changed, hasn't it?
Oh, no, it hits.
It hits? Okay.
My AC
Then,
has changed as well, just so you know.
Your AC has changed. Please remind me to take that into account at the end of the session. But Havel, you are hit with 9 piercing damage as a bullet rings down through you, as they're seemingly trying to put you out of your misery.
Oh
But
god.
high alert has now seemingly been raised. The gnomish figure is chucked to the side, and the dwarf pokes his head above the train. Shotgun raised, but he used his action already. That's my turn. Lula, what you doing?
Well, Lula is going to use her own shotgun and also deliver some 12 gauge, 12 slug justice upon the gnome with the shotgun. So she rolled an 18 with advantage.
Nice.
Yeah, finally found the shotgun notes. 1d12 damage, I'm assuming.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. So rolled an 18. No, that's not a critical. So 1d12.
That's insane.
Roll. Fuck's sake.
What's insane?
Ooh,
12 plus
I rolled-
3, 15.
15
nice.
damage. Nice.
Yeah.
Which one is that against?
The one with the shotgun.
Okay, so the dwarf
Yeah.
does not seem to like that.
All right. And well,
Did you place these guys already? Where are they?
yeah.
You're right, I haven't. Sorry, my apologies. Oh no, the reason you can't see them is because they're underneath the thing.
Underneath
Oh.
the train. Like,
Yeah, I'm just going to put them there to indicate where they are.
okay.
The train, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
But no, they're now poking their heads out above the top of it.
Hmm.
Okay. They're poking their heads out. In my turn. Just want to see how it goes.
Okay, Havel, you're up.
Okay. As I get hit, boom. I squeeze my shoulder. I'm like, well, that wasn't nice. As I walk forward, I'm going to use something that I haven't used before.
Mhm.
Noticing the creatures here and what I've heard stories. I know about them. I finally got to see one in kind of semi in action. I polymorph into a desert scorpion.
Ooh, nice.
Okay, cool.
And I was like, and just before this, I was like, I'm gonna make mincemeat out of all you bastards. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
You take on a large sand brown appearance.
Mm-hmm.
Your hands turn into claws. Your feet become six-legged, and a large tail springs from you with a claw above it. And you now take the appearance of a large, sand, dusty-colored scorpion. Ginormous, size of a skink. No, sorry, slightly smaller than a skinker. The size of about like it's a medium creature.
Large
so like,
beast.
sorry, it's a large creature, so it's like a horse.
Yes. Now my question is, to get access to these two, they're on top, right? These two, they're on top of the thing, or they're on the side?
So the train is lying on its side, right? The train cart is lying on its side.
Yes.
These two are poking their heads out from where the windows would be if the thing was on its side in that position. Do you understand?
Okay, got it. So that literally, so in actuality, they're peeking from the top.
On the top.
Exactly.
Okay. As my current form, can I reach them or no?
Scorpions can climb flat surfaces.
Okay. All right, then I will have to dash up. So I'll dash up.
Well, you already used your action to polymorph, right? To cast polymorph.
You're right. Yeah, so I get here. I am like 5 feet away from the actual, whatchamacallit, the actual carriage.
Okay.
But that's my action.
Good to know. That means, John, you're up.
John, being that he's been shot at, sounds like he has line of sight. So he's gonna cast.
He now has line of sight if they're peeking out, yeah.
Yeah. So now that everyone's uninvisible, anyways, he's just gonna go ahead and cast a hypnotic pattern inside the train cart.
What do I need to roll?
Everyone in there needs to roll a 18 wisdom save. or be incapacitated and have 0
One save,
movement.
one fail.
All right.
The dwarf suddenly stares off into the distance. His eyes grow wide, and they seem to be filled with a pattern, almost like a maze, as his brain seems to go blank. And he stares off into the distance.
Yeah, John casts a spell saying, Heveron, alone, Zera! And then a large sphere of psychic fire swirls into existence within the train cart. And one of them gets caught looking at it, and the dwarf stands there in a stupor with his mouth open, staring into the floating orb of psychic fire.
Okay. With that, Ranga, you're up.
Okay, so because they're on the top, and I have proficiency in athletics. First, I want to reach them, so I want to jump up onto the train and stand like in between them where they are, like where I put. Yeah. So what do I do? Do I have to do an
You can
athletics
give me
roll or
an
something?
athletics roll. It has a very
Okay.
low DC considering how athletic your character is and how you can jump back to it. So.
Okay, no, okay. I got 14. Does that?
You are able to jump up onto the train and get exactly into the position that you want. And in fact, you're able to do it with some momentum. So what do you want to do next?
So, but that was my action, right? So I can't take another action.
I would say that's your movement.
No. Oh, okay, right. Okay, and just to clarify, because I can see so it says in my because I have a two-handed weapon, I can do 2 attacks in an action. Is that correct?
That is
you're
indeed
level,
correct.
Right. So I can attack both. So yeah, I will first attack the guy with the pistol, I guess.
Okay.
With my great hammer. So I'm gonna do my first attack. Oh, and
Just roll your attacks and your damage all at once as best you can, so we can keep it rolling a little bit.
right. So I got 15.
Just so you
And
know,
then
For sure.
the dwarf is standing there in a trance. He's staring at a floating orb, a green floating orb in front of him.
Which one's the dwarf? The pistol or the shotgun?
Shotgun.
Yep.
Okay, so I hit the pistol guy. I got a 15 for my. Wait, did I have
Indeed
to
you
roll
do.
the damage, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Did I kill him?
How much damage did you get?
I got 15.
That was a decent amount of damage. You did not kill him, unfortunately. No. He's not
It's a good
looking good,
attack.
though. He just smashed the side of his head.
So I'll use my second attack on him again. I'll attack him again.
Okay.
And I got a 13 this time.
You rolled damage. Did you do? Oh, you already do the hit?
No, I think I messed up there. So what did I have to roll first? Sorry.
So you have to roll your hit first.
Yeah, the hit / DC section.
Oh, okay. Can we redo this one? Sorry.
Yeah, we need to.
That's
Good,
good.
good.
You can keep the damage roll if it hits.
Keep the damage, just reroll the other one.
Okay, cool. I got 11 on the.
That misses. I'm sorry.
Are you serious? How do I miss? I have a giant hammer. How can I miss
Wait,
with
is
the
he-
hammer standing?
He's invisible, so his first attack is at advantage, isn't it? Or did he break invisibility already?
He already hit with the first one, but that's right. And actually, to be fair, you're behind him. I'll let you roll both of them with advantage. So if you can reroll the first one and roll the second one with advantage, so you can give me one more roll.
Okay, I roll again.
Just to see if you get a
16.
crit on the first one.
I
So,
get
okay,
16.
the first one does not crit. Now reroll. Now give me the advantage roll on the second one.
So the advantage roll got me 16.
No. So your advantage on the first one. So roll again, right click on it and hit advantage, then roll the dice.
Oh, okay, right. Okay, let me do that. Right.
I think it's been
24.
Nice.
Hey.
Right.
Nice.
I think that should hit.
That definitely hits. Yeah. I'll roll damage.
Well, he had damage earlier. He could just keep.
Oh yeah,
the
the 13. We'll take the 13 then.
Okay.
Add 15, no? First, or what?
15,
15 was the
15
first
and
one, yeah.
13.
13 was the second
That's
one.
28 damage
Yeah,
total. It's a good turn.
28 damage. That's a big turn.
This guy
Please tell
cannot
me
be
he fell.
alive.
This guy, head is now smashed nearly to a pulp, and he seems to slink down as his entire side of his face, blood pours from his ears turn to giant cauliflower, bloody mesh, and blood pours from his nose. However, he's just seeming to be hanging on by some miracle of Pelor, which means, unless you have anything else to do, Rango, with your turn, Soul's up.
I was saying, do I have I can take a bonus action, right?
Yes, you can, sir. What do you want to
Right.
do
So
with
I'm
it?
just looking because I have these horns. There has to be something I can do with the horns.
I don't think that's a bonus action, unfortunately. I think the horns only give
No,
you
I'm
a
looking
charge.
at the bonus action. So there's goring rush and there's hammering horns. So, but goring rush is only after I take a dash. So that's now. I'm looking at what hammering horns is. So immediately after you hit a creature with a melee attack as part of the attack action, you can use a
You can
bonus
do that.
action to attempt to shove that target with your horns.
You can do that. Please, please give me the roll. Please tell me what you'd like to do.
So unless it succeeds, so it has to do a strength saving throw. If it can't, I push it 10 feet away. So I would like to do
I
that.
rolled a natural 1.
So you don't. My
Please
strength
tell
is
me what 10 feet
18.
you'd like to push it.
Tell you in what direction I would like to push it.
Is it a contested strength throw? Do you have to make
No.
strength throw?
It's just a strength
No.
save.
No.
Saving throw. Yeah, perfect.
Yeah, saving throw. I don't think the one because I am a giant.
No, there's no way it's gonna make it. Okay.
So you can
Please
move
tell
it
me what
15 feet
direction
because
you are
he also
throwing this
has
creature.
Crusher.
And you have Crusher. Yeah, true. I
Right.
see. I told you it was a good combo. Even without
Yeah.
you, we were still able to min-max.
Yeah.
But we would have
Yeah.
appreciated you, Kaya.
Oh, it looks like a solid character. Well done.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I'm gonna push it. I'm gonna slam into it to throw it. I mean, does the direct? If I throw him straight at Havel, does Havel get like a strike at him immediately as a
No,
attack
no
of
force movement.
opportunity?
The only thing
Unfortunately,
that I
no,
can
you
say is if you throw him like to the side to the ground, he has to roll
Mhm.
1d6 full damage. So it's more
Okay,
than
so
10
I'll
feet.
do that. I'll throw. I will. I am going to punch him so hard so that he falls to the ground. No.
Just using your Minotaur horns, you flip him off the ground.
Flip him
There's
off.
no damage associated with that?
I don't see it.
No.
I don't see any
Yeah.
damage.
Then
No.
it's fine. Then
Unless
I'll
it's
just roll
fall
the
damage,
d6.
right? If you're off a
Man,
height.
if I rolled a 5 or a 6, homie
Hmm.
died. Guess what I rolled?
What?
It's 5.
6.
5.
Oh,
Ah,
there we go.
nice. There.
You
That
tear him from his place, just poking about as his head slumps from your last attack. And your horns catch it from the side, tearing through his shoulder, ripping him forth, throwing him off the train. But his bottom half catches the now broken and shattered glass, tearing his figure as it slumps through the air in a arching motion, just flopping, crushing into the desert sands. Flopping, limp.
I would say
Dead.
Ranga had a successful debut in his first fight.
Nice.
Very nice.
The other figure
Very good.
stares at the hypnotic flame in the sky, paralyzed. Combat is effectively over. What are you going to do, boys? You hear a moan coming from the front of the train tracks as you hear, and another one from inside as you hear a small gnomish man.
Saul's gonna run over and I'm going to, while the guy is like hypnotically, distracted, he's going to gently take away the shotgun.
Just gonna rush to the washroom quickly.
So Lula is going to go towards the nearest voice of pain and see who it is. And that would
And
be
DM?
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna go on the one that's that Vanguard just killed. I'm gonna go on the town and make it look like that a scorpion really attacked him and mutilate the body.
Okay, he threw him into the sand. You can go up and do that. Lula, as you rush over the side, the one in the hypnotic pattern seems to be standing upon on the side of a chair, staring off into the sunset. Apparently, as it looks at the hypnotic flames in the sky. The source of the moans seemed to be a small gnomish man, though he's oddly recognizable to you. Dr. Feckfumble. Archibald Feckfumble. Archie Feckfumble.
Lula is going to shout out that revelation that Feck Fumble is here, and she's going to attend to his wounds as best as she can using her healing kits.
Please give me a roll.
Um,
Medicine check.
Miss
You
anything?
remember how to do it, right? It's been a long time. Nothing that your character would know about, so it's fine.
Okay.
Lula, what do you shout out to inform the rest of the party? Please do say it in character.
Okay. Lula's gonna shout out. Holy Jesus, guys! Dr. Feck Fumble.
Who's Jesus? Who's Jesus? It's Holy Pelor.
No,
Come on.
Jesus.
Jesus?
Jesus.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Wait,
Jesus?
Jesus.
Yeah. Jesus. Yeah.
Holy Jesus. Yeah, I suppose she's a farm girl. That's fair enough.
Yeah.
You have a moment to talk about our Lord and Savior, Cheesy Crust.
Yeah. Holy Jesus! Dr. Feck Fumble's here, guys. He's injured. Don't worry, I got him. And Lula rolled a 20. Not 20. For medicine.
Not only are you able to stabilize him, you're able to bring him back with
Sweet.
1 HP as he...
Okay. Yeah.
Who's Lula? Where have you been?
Don't worry, Dr. Feck Fumble. Just things may have gotten a bit out of hand, to say the least. But you're good. You're in safe hands now. Just you're all right. You're all right.
We were on the train. What's the crap? And then he's like, his eyes are like fluttering. He's barely conscious. But that was a good roll, so you got it.
Yeah. Just rest now. Just rest easy. It's all right.
Was I able to disarm the dwarven guy without?
You were able to take away the shotgun without any issue. He's still staring off into the distance. What are you doing, Saul? What are you doing, John?
I'm gonna
Saul do
tie
his
him
thing
up.
first.
I'm gonna tie him up. Yep. I'm gonna do it as gently as I can, but like the moment it seems like the hypnotic thing is gonna go away, I'm gonna kick him in the back of the knee. And
Okay, before you do that, Ranga, what are you doing?
What's the scene? Sorry, because when I stepped away for a couple of minutes.
No, just for a moment. As you finished smashing the character off of the thing, Lula went on to heal. The others rushed in. Saul is now tying up the dwarven figure. You have now decided you're no longer as angry as you were as you smashed down.
But we haven't killed the Red Reverend, right? None of these people were the Red
killed
Reverend.
one of them, right?
Killed one.
The elven figure in the crimson cloak is now being torn up by a scorpion in front of you guys as you watch in the sand.
Right. Well,
a giant scorpion. So it's slightly different from the others that you've seen.
Right. Okay. Well, I still remain focused on the task while maybe not raging, but cause I want to see if there's anyone else that may have been hiding that has escaped my horns. If there's a third person there.
Inside there is the small gnomish figure, Dr. Feckfumble, that Lula's called out that she's tending to. And besides that, there seems to be another human currently making death saving throws, if I'll be honest with you. I'm not going to tell you whether that was a success or a failure. Yeah.
And, sorry, quickly, can Lula quickly also add on to say, there's one more near the front. He doesn't sound good.
John,
like a passenger?
I don't know. I'm busy dealing with Fix Fumble. Dr. Fix Fumble, sorry.
So John would run over at this, and he would look inside the cart and see the professor, and a look of surprise would come across his face briefly, and then he looks to the guy who's bleeding out in a corner, and he points to him and he says, "Lula, save that one. Looks like he's about to die, but don't wake him up if you can help it."
All right, Lula does exactly that. No word spoken. And medicine?
So the one in the front is like all the way in the other cart. Seems to be the person who was driving the train.
Oh, the conductor.
Regardless. I
Yeah.
guess John heard the moans and told Lula to go.
Yeah. Same thing, but just wanted to clarify.
Yeah, so yeah, Lula does that. Can I roll medicine to get him back up?
Please do.
Potentially.
Please do, as I'll make a final death saving throw.
Right. Come on. Ow! 4. I got a 4.
Let me make, then, another death saving throw as you fail to heal his cracked body, broken, wounded, injured.
Can I try again?
Wait, doesn't she have a
Still-
healer's
he's
kit?
still-
Isn't that an automatic success? By the way,
It has to be over a 10.
healer's
Yeah,
kit.
still over
It
a
just
10.
happens. It just happens.
Oh, you can automatically stabilize. Sorry, you're
Yeah.
right, yeah. So you don't even have to make a medicine check. You can automatically stabilize this character. They're breathing, unconscious, their body broken and injured.
So I was gonna say I also apparently have a pool of healing power that can restore health.
So,
That's something.
would you like to do something with it?
Yeah, but I need because it says can restore 40 HP per long rest, but as an action you can touch a creature to restore any number of HP remaining in the pool. I have the entire thing remaining, so yeah. If the rest
can
of
do
the
as
party
much as
members
you
are
please,
saving,
yeah.
John says,
You can do as
Okay.
much as you please.
It's best if this
Yeah,
one doesn't awaken. What we do
Alright.
now is we toss the remaining Reverend, we toss him to the Scorpions, and we make our way back to Tenton. And we can turn over the second effect fumble over to Krynn, and he'll keep him safe for us.
Yeah, so what I am going to do, once Saul ties this particular reverend, I'm going to drag his body to the boneyard, and I'm just going to leave him there. Probably do like a couple of stabs to make sure that he... No, you know what? No, I won't attack him. I'll just drag him. And I'll let the scorpions deal with him.
Okay.
The tied up guy.
Yeah, the tied up guy. Unless you want to walk him there.
Yeah, I was wanting to get some words with him first.
Oh, heard.
All right.
Yeah.
So if
Okay,
you tried
let's have
to
it.
approach him, he would very tentatively like put his boot out, just kind of like to stop you from getting to it, kind of like nudged your head with the boot just a little bit,
Yeah.
and pull the dwarf up.
John would leave.
What's the dwarf's
Lula
name?
with
You got a name
fumble.
for the dwarf?
Kyle, what you say?
I am. Sorry, yeah, continue, Kyle.
I was gonna say that John would leave Lula with the professor, and he would go and join Saul's conversation with the dwarf. He wants to at least hear it.
Sorry, before we continue, I healed Thick Fumble for 7 HP, and I got the conductor for 10 HP, and I've used 2 of my healing kit things.
I'll ask. Does anyone else need healing? Because I have all this healing power.
How are we good?
Not yet.
I'm clean.
Okay.
I got a name if you want me to send it to you.
Sorry.
I got a name if you want me to send it to you.
Hey, if it's one of the ones on your list, yes, I would like that. That would be even better.
I'll say it's one of the ones on the list.
Because it's not going to be the one that you sent me, because I'm saving that one. That's a special one.
Yeah, no, I'll just send you a new one.
Yeah, please do.
Because it seems
I'd
like
appreciate
you're
that.
drawing a blank on the dwarf's name. So.
I'm not going to lie, I have a name for these 2 individuals, but I can't be bothered to actually go and find them because it's not in this document that I'm looking at, and I feel bad that I was opening a different one. Anyway, you guys wait before this confused, and he snaps out of it and looks at both of you.
Hello, Theron. Been a long time.
Do I know you?
Not anymore.
Gives you a look up and down. I guess once.
Yeah, Saul.
His eyes turn hard. Gives you a grim expression on his face. Do what you must, then.
I'm looking for Carnaby. You know where Carnaby is?
You think you're gonna get information from me?
Well, sure. I shoot him and I shoot his foot off with a shotgun.
You shoot his foot off with the shotgun. He
Yeah.
literally, I'm gonna give it a roll. He literally, nat 20, I'm not even fucking joking with you guys. Nat 20, he looks at you in the eyes as his foot is obliterated by your shell. He gives you a stone cold stare. Zero reaction.
At that point,
Holy shit.
Dude, the Red Rebels are fucking hardcore. You don't remember the backstory. You not remember your session zeros. DM
That's
and
what Saul says. This holy shit.
Havel, and then
I
I'm
would
gonna
like
go
to
to
step
Ranga.
in now.
Yeah, I'm gonna go to you in just a second, but I
Alright.
think Man's gonna ask a question. What up?
Me or Saul?
So I was gonna go to Ranga. What's your question? Because you always say DM.
Sounded like you
And
had
I
a
feel like
question.
you're gonna ask something.
No, actually, I was going to help intercede because I'm still there. I was going to do
Okay.
something with the prisoner.
Ranga's gonna step in then. I think before even
Right.
you're able to react.
Yeah, because we're trying to intimidate guy, get the guy to talk, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's
so
just got
as
his
far-
foot shut off and
yeah,
staring
yes.
Soul dead in the eyes
Yeah.
with a
So which is
bleeding
when I
stump
step
at the end
in.
of his leg.
Which is when I huff and I puff and I step in because I have, as per my racial traits, naturally imposing presence and intimidation advantage.
Yeah.
So I step in. So I step in to intimidate him just with my sheer size and presence and my mana. So I guess I do a intimidation roll, right?
Before you do that, as you're stepping in to do it, Havel, what are you going to do? Because I'm pretty sure you have intimidation, and that will give you advantage on your roll.
Jeez.
So I'm still as a scorpion. I take one of my pincers and I put it in between his cheeks. No, in his throat. Sorry.
Okay.
I'll take my stinger and wherever Saul shot him, I'll start sticking my stinger in there and start digging in.
Your
Okay.
venomous stinger. They
Yeah.
Ranga, you can now roll with advantage.
Right. So then, yeah, I step up to him, look down upon him from my imposing presence while Havel is holding him with his stinger. Bow to him, bring my giant head with my horns right up to him. Then I roll into him and tell him, talk now before I separate your head from your body. And I roll intimidation.
Yes. With advantage.
Okay.
Don't forget.
Sorry, I didn't
right
do the
click, press
advantage.
advantage, blah, 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 blah,
Okay.
that whole bit.
Should I do it again then?
Just give me, if you've already rolled once, roll one more time.
Okay, I got a 24 the first time.
And the
Let me do
second
it
time?
again. I got 21. So I got 21, 24. I feel like those are pretty strong intimidation rolls.
Yeah, we take the 24, the highest. Nice. That is a good roll.
You guys smell ammonia and the distinct smell of shit.
Oh,
Feces fills your nostrils.
little bitch.
broken dwarf sits before you.
I turn to the party and say, I think he's ready to talk.
Yeah, it's well done. Carnaby. Looking for Carnaby. Make
John
this
grimaces
nice
and takes a deep breath and looks away.
Right. The old man taken up in Sun Hill. It's his private study. Just ended already.
Sun Hill, huh? He's gonna look over at John with a flashback in his head of him trying to get them to go to Sun Hill, like on episode 3.
I know. Sun Hill Station. I remember it.
He's gonna look back. Is Havel still a scorpion?
Havel's still a scorpion, and he's poking this guy's stump with his tail
Gross.
in the most horrendous fashion. Like, are you guys the good guys? Are you sure?
Hey,
No.
I'm still tending on the engine.
Hey, I am a 10-foot dwarf with a giant hammer, okay?
Havel, he's all yours.
Excuses.
I'm gonna holster my gun and then walk away.
I'm gonna grab him by one of my pincers, and as we walk along, I'm just gonna like stab him. First, I'm gonna stab him in one eye. As I'm like carry him to the boneyard, then going to stab him in the other eye. Going to invert him.
Jesus, bro, he's like screaming in horror and pain. Just kill me already!
I stab him in the back a couple of times, one in the rectum.
At that point, I turn to Havel and I step in and question him, being my paladin sense of righteousness with my and I tell him, I understand hatred for them. You have but I suspect you and I have the same relationship with them and have had the same past. I have also known loss at their hands. But there is no honor in torturing what is already almost dead. Let me use my hammer and end him. Save your dignity, Havel.
As I hear Rangar's words, I think I stabbed him enough times that he's not gonna. Oh, you know what? He has a bloody stump for a foot, so he ain't running that well.
He's good.
So, I morph back to what I was. What was? And I let him drop, and I look at Ragnar. I look him square in the eye. And it's like Ragnar. No, Ranga. Sorry, I'm gonna keep mispronouncing your name. Ranga.
You pronounced it like 6 different ways already. It's okay. You're American, bro. We forgive you.
Yeah, that's all right.
I said, my dignity, Ranga, died many years ago. This one deserves no pardon, no honor, nothing. And I look at her, die. May you die a slow death. And I walk away.
At that, I
As
pick
you
up
lay
my
him on the
hammer.
ground and you drop him, and Ranga picks up the hammer.
Yeah.
As the dwarven figure lays upon the ground, Ranga walking towards him. He curses you in the old language of the books. You guys hear, and I don't know who understands it except for John. John would be the only
Wait,
one
what
that
language?
can understand.
Dwarvish.
No, it's Celestial.
Oh, okay. No, I don't understand Celestial. No.
I don't think John has that language.
You don't think? Sorry, I thought John was the only one who had it.
I think Saul has it.
Saul, you're the one. Sorry, my bad. Saul is the one who has it. You hear him curse under his breath, and he says, "By Pelor's light, You have drawn red, and red will draw and quarter you. And then Ranga can proceed and do whatever he wants.
Yeah. As he's just finishing, so that my hammer comes down on his head. The circumference of my hammer, so it engulfs his entire head and smashes it flat, separating. His head explodes, just leaving behind his body.
Ugh.
Into the sand and dirt.
I turn to the party. Did anyone understand that last curse?
It's just a saying. I wouldn't pay it much mind.
Very
You
well.
hear a voice whisper to you as soul leaves body, and all of you hear a hissing on the wind. Pay no mind, but all of you will be divine. And with
We
that,
all
I'd like
hear
to end
this?
the session. You guys all hear this. And with that, I think
Yeah.
I'd like to end the session.
Yeah.
As all of you
Okay.
stand in the sand, sizzling heat, the wreck of the train in front of you, Lula now having saved the gnomish and the human, and this old human train conductor in his blue uniform, bright sky blue uniform, now stained with blood. You guys are left to deal with this accident before you. And that's where we'll pick up next week. So, if you enjoyed the session, please do give us a follow and a like on YouTube and a subscribe on it. All of those stuff and things. We are warlocks of the algorithm. So the more attention and the more likes and subscribes you give us, the more eldritch powers we are granted. Anyway, we'll see you next week. Same time, same place, on Quest and Quill, facing the frontier. Thank you everyone for joining.
Safe travels, adventurers.
May all your rolls be natural 20. Farewell.